Alright, so I'll be honest, I went into this game fully expecting the Bulls to lose, and that was especially the case after we got the lengthy injury report from the Bulls, which included Coby White being out yet again, this time due to that other calf that evidently has now been bothering him. That, of course, is not ideal, but we won't talk about that right now. We'll save that for a different day. But with Okoro, Coby, Jalen Smith, still no Zach Collins, who is trending to be back soon, no Dylan Terry, and then, of course, Kevin Huerter would only play 6 minutes and would not return after the first quarter. After watching the last 3 games in which the Bulls played some of their worst basketball against some of the worst teams in the league, yeah, I had zero expectations going into this game. The only thing I wanted to see, and I tweeted this right before the game, I wanted to see the Bulls have some fight in them. I knew they wouldn't be able to win, but at least show me that you're playing hard, you're being scrappy, and that you're being serious when you're out there on the court. Show me some semblance of life, something. And to the Bulls' credit, they did do that. I wouldn't say it was consistent for the whole game, and there was definitely some frustrating moments that really cost the Bulls that game, which I'll get into. But for the most part, I appreciated that we saw a more active, a more aggressive team that played with a sense of urgency. Like, this was actually a fun game to watch. There was a lot of back and forth, high effort plays on both sides. The Bulls actually played solid defense. I wouldn't say it was great defense, but solid enough to the point that they really made the Magic work for their buckets. What makes it frustrating, though, is that the Bulls, they were right there. I mean, in a way, it almost would have been better if they had just gotten blown out like I expected them to do, rather than hanging around this team. Really, having the lead for periods in the fourth quarter and then just see them once again fall apart in the final minutes. I mean, the same problems once again. One, of course, not having that guy that can close. Didn't help that Coby wasn't in the lineup, although I would argue he hasn't really been that guy for the Bulls either. But not having that go-to guy in those final minutes, missing shots when the game is tight and on the line. I actually liked some of the big buckets that were scored by Modest in the closing minutes, but then, of course, shoving Desmond Bane after he ran into him to give the Magic a technical free throw, letting them get under your skin was not what you want to see. Granted, that was a douchey play by Bane trying to act like bumping into Modest was incidental, but you gotta have more composure than that, than to just push him in the back when you know you're gonna get called for a technical foul like that in such a close game. But then aside from not having that guy who is going to close out the game in clutch moments, once again, the Bulls giving up way too many second chance points, too many offensive rebounds, and once again, doing so in the fourth quarter. Like, yes, it's still a problem in the amount of offensive rebounds they've been giving up, but it's especially bad in the fourth quarter. I don't know if it's just because the guys are gassed by the fourth quarter and are just getting out hustled on the boards. Regardless, though, still no excuse. Get the freaking rebound, especially when you're in such a close game. Like that one play where Suggs grabbed 2 offensive rebounds and the Magic got 3 cracks at taking a 3, and Bane finally sank one to put them ahead with less than 4 minutes to go. That kind of thing cannot happen. Letting Wendell Carter Jr., soft Wendell from the Bulls days, push you around, get the board, and throw it back down for a dunk. Like, come on now. And my goodness, it was a block party for Bitadze. He was rejecting shots at the rim left and right. I mean, the Magic are one of the best interior defensive teams in the league, one of the better defensive teams in the league, period. But the Bulls just could not drive and finish at the rim. And because they have no pick and roll game or lob threat down low, the Magic were able to swat away any shot near the basket if they weren't significantly beating their man off the dribble. The late execution game is what really made me want to pull my hair out, though, because even though it was unlikely the Bulls were going to win this game at this point, the fact that they cut the lead to 3 with, I believe, around 25 seconds left to go, and then letting the Magic just take it the length of the floor, not fouling after they couldn't set a trap, and letting an easy dunk be given up to Wendell Carter Jr. to essentially ice the game, but even still, then not calling timeout after that dunk. They bring it down the court. Ayo gets trapped around midcourt. He can't get rid of the ball. No one comes over for help. And for whatever reason, they don't call a timeout until it's too late with only 9 seconds left to go in the game. Again, the game was probably already over at that point anyway. But it's just simple things like that that drive me crazy. Simple mistakes that can be the difference between winning and losing games. The Bulls have to clean up those mental lapses in late game situations, and that also sits with Billy Donovan as well. That said, there were a few things that I like seeing from this game. First of all, Modest had one of his best games in a while, a game that he really needed to hopefully get his confidence back up. 21 points on 7 for 16 shooting, played some great defense, by the way, 3 blocks, 2 steals. I loved seeing him reject Franz Wagner at the rim and take it the distance the other way, and then on another possession, swipe the ball out of his hands, had that beautiful behind-the-back dribble and transition, and alley-oop to Julian Phillips. Modest 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists, got to the free throw line, and was a +5 on this game. Oh, and also 0 turnovers for Modest, which feels like he's struggled with lately in turning the ball over with some of his sloppy handles. Vucevic actually was solid as well. Granted, not great with his interior defense, but that's kind of always the case with Vooch. 20 points though, on 9 for 13 shooting, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, a couple of steals as well. He was actually a team high +12 in this game. And then Josh Giddey, I mean, the main thing for Giddey and what he struggled with in this one was just taking care of the ball. I mean, the Bulls had 20 turnovers total. They conceded 25 points off said turnovers. Josh Giddey had 8 of those turnovers alone. Although some I felt really weren't his fault. He just got charged for a turnover because a player wasn't hustling to the ball on a pass. I believe they also charged a turnover to him when Suggs saved a ball going out of bounds and just threw it off Giddey. Like, what are you going to do in that situation? But even then, Giddey, 22 points, 8 for 14 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals as well. And then, of course, I like the minutes that we're still seeing from Lachlan Olbrich, who has been hustling and making nice plays when he's out there, showed some good passes to generate offense as well. Julian Phillips gave the Bulls some great minutes, a player who I've personally felt has been pretty underwhelming so far this season, but he was hustling, flying all over the place in this game, taking it to the rack and throwing it down. Trey Jones, who has always been solid and efficient coming off the bench, was great as well. And look, the Bulls shot the ball well in this game, 50% from the field. They went 16 for 37 from behind the arc, while holding the Magic to 9 for 33 from deep, although the Magic have never really been a good three-point shooting team. They moved the ball well in transition. It's just, again, it all comes back to finishing out these games, closing games and executing in the final minutes. The Bulls, simply put, do not have that, and it's been killing them in all of these recent losses, which have all been close games that they've been unable to finish off. It's absolutely a bigger problem that needs to be addressed. The guys got to get healthy too as well, because it's getting a little ridiculous when you look at the long list of injuries in the report for every game now. Anyway, I'll have some other content out this week, most notably about all these trade rumors heating up about the Bulls being interested in pursuing Anthony Davis. Oof. And then the Bulls believing they can also emulate and replicate the blueprint for what the Pacers did last season. Even bigger oof. So stay tuned for that. Let me know what you guys thought of the game tonight. As always, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.